So tell the people about this project that you just released. We've been playing it a lot on the show. Talk about the project.
Yes,
What's going on
so
with it?
the project is called Off Top, and the whole project is produced and mixed and engineered and all that by Kai BG. And basically, like, this is the first project we've done together. We knew each other for a short amount of time, but
I think it was a couple years at least when I met both of y'all. It was down in Monterey, right?
Yeah,
Awesome, yeah.
And you know, our souls just clicked. You know, that's my homies, and you know, we got to know each other and stuff like that. He sent me his beats, and I can just really vibe. The first beat he sent me was the Off Top song.
Oh, word.
And I remember he sent it to me,
and that became the project.
It was the morning too, and this guy, my friend John right here, he was like chilling in the room too, and I sent it, and I was just like playing the beat, and I was just writing to it, and it just came out of me.
That's beautiful, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. He's got some dope beats. So I like the project. Thank you for making that.
Yeah, thank you guys for spinning it.
I enjoyed listening to it.
And he's also a college student, from what you said earlier, right?
Yes.
We were talking off air a little bit about. Well, might as well bring the conversation to the airwaves.
Yeah.
Try to promote education, because I mean, a lot of times we go through life, we go through the school system, and we just don't have a good time. It's not pleasurable.
KDHC.
Stick to it. It pays off. I mean, right now our artist is a college student as well.
Yes.
Kai, the producer on that project, is also going to school, trying to get his college degree. So, I mean, for whatever it's worth, there's good role models in the house today. So thank you for that.
Well, shout out to you guys for being productive.
Yeah, I'm always trying to learn.
For all the shows that you do too, and then you're going to school and all that. Shout out to you and shout out to Kai for that one.
Yeah.
So Off Top. So it's on all streaming sites. Right?
Yeah,
everywhere,
it's
right?
everywhere, and I got a few hard copies, and yeah.
If there's any callers that take the time this evening, right now we're going to be doing this interview segment. But once the music starts, give us a call. Jot down the numbers right now just so you have them ready. It's 831-758-5432. Once again, that's 831-758-KHDC. And if you give us a call, I mean, first caller, we won't even make you guys wait. We'll give you one of the 1 a.m. CDs. Physical copy. She brought them through today.
There you go. So not only rapping, but you also produce as well.
Yes.
Yeah, you make your beats and you sing. You're very, very talented.
So I've been wanting to I've been wanting to ask producers that I get in here, what do you use? Like, what kind of computer do you run? What software do you use? I want to know. Let's get it all out there. Let's talk about that. I'm curious. Let's let the people know too. They're probably curious too. What do you use?
I use a PC. A lot of people use Mac, but
how old is the PC?
Well, I recently purchased a new one, but
so you have a new PC running what, 10?
Yeah, Windows 10.
Windows 10.
And I use Machine. I started on Fruity Loops, and as soon as I found Machine on YouTube, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to try that. Like, this looks fun. So I tried it, and I fell in love with it. I can make a beat really fast. Like, everything inspires me in that program.
Machine.
So I'm just...
And what's the program called? Is that also the name of the software, Machine?
Yeah, Native Instruments Machine.
Native Instruments.
It's pretty cool.
And what about so do you record your own vocals too, right?
Yeah, I record, and
what program do you
I
use?
started on I started in Fruity Loops.
Fruity Loops for vocals as well?
Yeah, well, it's not the best. It's
no,
really,
that's why I'm asking, because I never figured out how to record.
There's a lot of people that do that though.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people that use it for vocals.
But it's different now, right? Now it's called FL Studio.
Yeah. FL Studio.
I was literally on Fruity Loops. Like this is before FL Studio was a thing.
Yeah, and then from there I learned Mixcraft Pro 6. It's like one of the cheaper ones you can get at Guitar Center. It's like $60, and I stayed with that until they did 8. I still have that. Right now I'm doing Cubase 10. I like to learn a lot of different programs, so I've tried Studio One, 4. I have Audacity. Like, I play with different stuff and dabble in it. Like,
but you've stuck to Native Instruments.
Oh, well, for beats, yeah. For recording.
I was asking her about vocals.
Yeah,
no, but I mean, in general, right? Because they're all called digital audio workstations.
Yeah.
And they mostly do all the same functions.
Yeah, literally, like Pro Tools. Right now, I'm learning Logic Pro X. Like, it's all kind of the same stuff, but it's all preference, really. Like, you know.
Yeah, no doubt. And the reason why I like to ask too, and I even ask, how old is your computer? I like to ask it because I'm running a computer from 2011.
Oh, wow.
You know, and I beefed it up though, so it's not like stock or anything.
Yeah.
So it's pretty beefed up, but I mean, technology is so cool now. It's like you can run something kind of old and it still like gets the job done. You know?
Yeah.
I was running a computer from 2006 for a long time.
Oh wow.
For a long time, and I just replaced it. Like
With Windows 10 though, or
no, now I right now I have Windows 7.
Oh,
I don't want 10.
Oh
But I
wow.
mean, you know,
I
the
don't want 10. I was like,
caveat,
no, I want 7.
the warning
Like,
and the heads up to users out there,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of security patches and all these
Yeah.
different things.
But
that-
I don't go online though.
That's the thing, is that
Yeah.
I was
So
just
I
going to
don't
mention
care.
that is
Yeah.
that as long as you take care of your stuff, because if you go
Yeah.
online with an unpatched system,
Yeah, no, I don't go. That's the thing. So
good
like,
luck, yo.
so like I run whatever I'm running. I don't go on. Yeah, I don't go online with it. So
Okay.
she's not gonna get sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
She's not
yeah.
gonna catch a cold. You know what I mean? 'Cause she's not even out there.
There's no
Like,
virus.
She's tied up in the house. Like
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
she's tied up in the house. She ain't going outside.
You're gonna
Yeah.
get
She
smallpox.
can't get
yeah.
sick.
Yeah, it's all preference.
Yeah,
Like,
so
you
that's-
know.
But I just like to ask because a lot of people, you know, that might be listening, that might be interested in
Yeah.
in getting started. Like what does somebody like you use?
Yeah,
You know?
I'm always like open
Yeah.
too. Like I know some people try to be like hiding their secret, like oh,
Right,
like
right.
they think it's
Yeah.
like magical or something, or
Don't
you,
tell anybody.
yeah, you need some like super expensive program. But honestly, like you
Yeah,
can
no, you
get
don't.
a really good sound with
Yeah.
affordable equipment, and it's all
Yeah.
in the mixing, really.
True indeed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what I say. It's not the equipment; it's the people behind the equipment
exactly.
that make
yeah.
it sound money. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I got to ask you. I was just curious. You know, I like
Yeah.
that.
One thing that I'm going to follow up with that is, I mean, you mentioned a lot of software. So are you taking advantage of like the 30-day trials or something, or are you actually
Oh
like?
no, like
Right.
I don't want to incriminate myself, but let's just say
There's a way to get
there's a
past the time
way.
trials, right?
But I have purchased Native Instruments and I purchased Cubase.
Yeah. You know, I mean, again, not to self-incriminate or anything like that, but I knew a guy, you know, that used to do things a little, you know, interesting like that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So anyway, there's always a way, you know, to be able to experiment with software, even if it seems like it's out of touch,
Yeah.
out of reach. I mean,
Cracked.
I know even
Cracked versions.
Yeah.
Hey man, you said the C
There's
word, but
cracked
yeah.
versions of stuff.
That's how
No, I
I
was
got
gonna
Fruity
say-
Loops at
Well,
first.
me too.
My
And I was
cousin
gonna
was
say-
just like,
I
yeah.
made an album off of a cracked version of Fruity Loops.
There
I
you
made a
go.
couple albums. I've sold beats off of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
I hear you, man.
Yeah.
you know, the struggle is real, and however you know, however you get there, you get there. You
Yeah.
know?
So I
That's
mean,
what it
just to
is.
plug a few
Guerrilla war
places where you
tactics.
can actually do it for free, legitimately.
Mhm.
The Salinas Public Library System, I know, has had their digital audio computer labs,
Oh,
and
wow.
so they've been. I mean, they've had. I don't know if they're updated at this point, but this is, you know, a little bit dated now. Back in like 2012 or so, back when I
Mhm.
was there, we used to have essentially like the video editing software. So they had Logic as well, and essentially Photoshop, like all these different, you know, graphic programs.
Yeah.
So look for places. I mean, if you're a college student or if you're even interested in being a college student, I know Hartnell College also has a computer lab.
Yeah.
I know that you probably have also similar experience out in Gilroy. So like
Oh,
unplugging
I'm at
spot.
Cabrillo actually going to college, and
Right.
their music program's awesome. So, you know, you just got to do your research and
Look
you
for
know.
places where you know you can find those resources, because a lot
Yeah.
of times, I mean, my personal experience was I'd come across software, and this is before the YouTube days, so like there really
Yeah.
wasn't anything I can do beyond reading a manual,
Yeah.
you know, or go read a book.
But
Literally,
real
you
quick,
know.
I actually want to say too is the way I actually started was I recorded myself on my iPod.
Oh, word.
Like they had a little mini interface, and I plugged my mic in there and just I recorded off my iPod for a while. And
Is this one of your projects that you have online? Or did you
yeah,
bring it
but
down?
I
Oh, okay,
hide
so that's
it.
Oh, I see.
It's my first. It was my first tape. I recorded it on my iPod in my friend's kitchen, and
I bet it's
Yeah,
still fire though.
What year was that?
She's
What year
cringing.
was that?
She's cringing.
That's
man.
dope though.
That's dope. 2000 maybe 12, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been at this for a little while. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. Well, like I never really liked to post my stuff, but my friend was the one who encouraged me. So she was like, "Yo, this is really cool. You know, you should put it on SoundCloud." And then that's when I started doing it and started meeting new people, networking. And I never thought it would bring me, you know, this far. And who knows where else it's gonna take me. So
Oh, you got a long road ahead of you.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
You definitely have a lot of talent. You have a lot of passion. And I mean, not my words. I've heard people use this phrase. Yo, she's really small, but she packs like big energy. You know, like you definitely control the crowd, yo. Like, you know, I mean, and it's kind of misleading. It's like, what, like her? And yeah, I mean, like you're fire, yo. Like you
Thank
definitely
you.
bring a certain element. And one of the things that I was gonna say is I was listening to Off Top as well, and that first track, My Heart. I believe you make reference to 2012, and so
yeah.
just because, again, it's part of getting to know you, but it's also trying to like inspire other folks out there, right?
Yes.
And you mentioned that the way that you got into music in the first place was, you know, you were kind of brokenhearted,
Yes.
right? I mean,
yeah.
maybe I'm reading between the
No,
lines, because I don't know if
you're
you
right
use
on it.
those words.
You're
but,
right on it. That's exactly
you know,
what it
so
was.
it was through poetry and through, you know, tapping any emotions that you kind of discovered this ability to write songs. So tell us a little bit more about that. I mean, just to
Yeah.
share your story, because I know people can relate to that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
a lot
always
of
try to
people-
breeze past it. Like when Casio asked me, I would like breeze past it. But really, like I really started with like, at the time, like we just like stopped. Was in a breakdancing group. We stopped that. I was in a really like serious relationship, and that stopped. And like I was in high school. You know what I mean? There's just like so many different things.
A lot
and
of
like
emotions, a lot of things going
yeah,
on.
so I would write poetry, and I would write, you know, singy songs about like what I was feeling and stuff like that. And you know, it just wasn't working out really with the singing, so I wanted to just, I don't know, somehow it just got
So you
into
decided
rap.
to rock the mic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like because I would listen to Missy Elliott and Eminem like all the time.
Oh, word.
So I just like, I listened to Missy Elliott, I studied her flows, and I kind of like would put my words in that, and that's kind of how I taught myself how to like rap on beat and stuff like that.
Right,
So
right.
like, but yeah, going back to that, it was really like, I was really going through a bad time, and if it wasn't for music, like I wouldn't be here. Like I can honestly say that.
Hey, music saves another life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that before as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I can actually relate to that quite a little bit, you know, if I may say. So with all that in mind, I mean, that's kind of why I think it's important to even acknowledge that. I know
Yeah.
it's kind of like we don't really want to put ourselves out there like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, like that's one of the beautiful elements of music is that you listen to a song and you can relate to it, and then all of a sudden, like you're not alone anymore. You
Yeah.
know, like there's somebody else that can share that experience with you,
Yeah.
or like have somebody listen to that song and then be able to relate to what you're feeling. Because
Yeah.
I mean, the average listener can't necessarily use the wordplay in that artistic manner. You know, so it's kind of like a responsibility that we get as artists, you know, to be able to tell those stories and preserve, you know, I mean, I guess that positive energy, try to kind of
Yeah,
put it
that's
in.
what I missed from
Yeah.
hip hop, you know, the storytelling. That was like, you know, that was like the best part about it, you know what I mean? And I feel like nowadays, like it's kind of missing from that. So I'm like old school. I like that stuff. So that's just how I do it. You know what I mean? Like
Definitely.
I can't help it.
Awesome. And I think that's what we appreciate about you is that we listen to your music and it's real, you know, like you're not faking the funk. You're not talking about, I mean, I can make all these references to like bling bling era through mumble rap, through like whatever it's turning into, right? I mean, like there's none of that. You're keeping it real, you know?
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, for us true heads that, well, we call it real hip hop, you know, we say
Yeah.
this is real and this and that. But when we say that, it's not to say the other stuff isn't real. It's just really to say that these are real experiences and this is real people. Like there's no mask.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like putting yourself
There's no
out
gimmick.
there. Exactly,
It's just
exactly.
being vulnerable.
I prefer the term good hip hop over real hip hop. Good hip hop.
Good hip hop.
That's what
Versus bad hip hop.
No, I just don't like to say this is that real hip hop. I don't like to say that personally.
Okay.
Because I would say, I mean, anything's hip hop. It's all hip hop, but there's good hip hop and bad hip hop. And 1 a.m. you definitely make good hip hop. So
Thank
shout
you.
out to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've been playing your stuff. We'll continue to play your stuff. What do you got cooking up like right now? What are you working on
Oh,
currently?
right
I know you're working
now,
on something.
you know I'm working
I know
on
you're
something.
working on
I'm
something.
always working
What
on
you got?
something.
What you got in the,
There's something about a beat.
Can you reveal? Can you
contest
reveal
coming
what you
out
got?
and
Yeah, well, I'm
Talk
actually
about it.
working on multiple things. Right now, I'm working on a personal project called Window, and it's kind of more like I'm trying to be more vulnerable because there's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about that I barely brushed on in a lot of my projects, but I never really talked about it. So this is kind of like a challenge for me, and
Coming out.
yeah, so hopefully by the end of the year, but I'm taking my time with it. I want it to be, you know, perfect, and that's what I'm working on right now. But for summer, like, I'm trying to do collabs with artists that are far, you know what I mean? Like right now,
Awesome.
I did a song with a girl from, she's from Vacaville, I believe. She goes
Oh,
by
wow.
Daylight. And I've met a lot of different people, you know, so I want to kind of work with them and just start getting some cool like hip hop for summer and just I don't know. And
That
then
sounds awesome, yeah.
music videos and then
beat
I'm all
contest, you
bars.
said?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's actually a rap contest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm working on that for June, and then did I miss anything else?
I know that this isn't the first one you've done
The
either.
Crepe.
I remember you did something.
Yeah, I got some shows coming up too. The
What?
Crepe Place,
Yeah.
May 15th. Santa Cruz.
Yeah, so follow 1 a.m. It's 1 a.m. somewhere, so you get all the details.
Yeah, or iam1am.com. All my shows will be posted there.
Yep.
I just got word that I'm going to be doing a show. I'm going to be opening up for Belle the Wonder.
Oh,
If
wow.
anyone knows. I'm
Yeah,
not
she's
entirely
fire, yeah.
sure about the location yet, but I'm still waiting on
What's
the
the name
flyer.
on that?
Belle the Wonder.
Belle the Wonder is a female MC. She's very talented as well. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna check. No, we'll write that down.
Yeah.
Write that down.
Keep us posted on
Definitely
that.
check, yeah.
There's a lot of folks here in Salinas that are Belle the Wonder fans, like
Yeah.
big Belle the Wonder fans.
Reverie, Gavlin, like they're really doing it. Like I really like inspired by them because they're they're females. They're staying true to hip hop. You know what I mean?
Right,
like
right.
That's
I think
dope.
that's just a dope.
That reminds me of someone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember who though.
La
Just
Sofa
kidding.
Queen.
Well, I'm talking about you actually, but yes,
Oh, okay.
La Sofa Queen is definitely.
Shout out to La Sofa Queen.
Shout
dude.
out to La Sofa Queen for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely want to plug this show as well. So we had last week Con and Nexus come by, and they were talking a little bit about Digging in the Crate Volume 2.
Oh, yeah.
This is happening next week. Actually, no. Yeah, next weekend.
Yeah, next.
May 15th.
Yeah.
9 p.m. out in Santa Cruz. So for more details on that, definitely go check out iam1am.com, or if you want to look up the archives and get all of Con and Nexus's contact info, that was all spelled out in last week's show as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go check that out. It's gonna be a dope show. There's so on the list we have on the bill we have Alba Gordon, 1 a.m. Con, Sandra J, and Joseph Jason Santiago Lacour.
Yeah, yeah.
And who's that? I'm just curious. I don't know.
He's a dope poet.
He's a poet. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's how he goes by too. Dope
Nice.
poet.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, is that Dope Poet Love?
Yep, that's
Gotcha.
him. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
So
so
at Instagram, Dope Poet Love.
Yeah.
yes, so go get the information. Go check that out. May 15th.
Also, there's a beat set. I think I see somebody else's name.
Oh, Dip, beat set by Dip. I didn't even see that one. Okay,
It's in a
I
different
mean,
font color.
yeah, we
so
had Dip. He was our guest.
And Kai will be there too.
Kai will be there
Yep.
too. There you go. Go check that out.
You wanna come
What
through.
day of the
It's
week
gonna
is
be
that?
dope.
Is that midweek or is that weekend?
May 15th.
It's
Thought it
the
was.
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
That's what I
Wednesday.
say. It sounds like yeah. Okay, on
All right.
Wednesday.
So midweek, 9 p.m. If anybody is
and I seen
able
footage
to
from
make
the
it out
last
there.
one. You guys had that thing packed.
It was fun.
What day was
Yeah.
that? Was that on a weekday?
I thought that was a Friday. I don't
Was it
know.
Friday?
I thought it was. I'm
Well,
really
I hope-
bad.
I hope you guys are just as packed, and yeah, people go check that out. So you're looking for you looking for beats right now? Like, is that what you're looking for your next
No,
project? or
I mean
or you're making all
I
your
produce
beats
my
right now?
own, but I'm always open to like when people hit me up and be like, oh, I made you this beat, you wanna check it
Yeah,
out?
I'm the same way. I make
Yeah.
beats too because
Yeah, it's
I
always
mean,
nice to just.
Why did you start making beats though? Because you wanted beats that nobody was kind of making what you wanted, or
No,
you
it
just,
was like a
you're
mix.
just
Like
interested?
when before I even started rapping, like I made beats here and there. Like my friend had a like old school phone and he had like some weird app, and I would just make little ringtone beats. And then my
That's
cousin
crazy.
had an iPod shuffle and it had like those little beat apps. So I just mess around with it, and but later on down the line, it turned into like I need to make myself some beats because like I'd be taking free beats off YouTube or something, and then somebody buys it, and then they hit me up and they're like, you need to take this down, blah blah blah. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start
need to
making
take
my
this-
own beats. Like
You need to take this. You need to take this down. Wow.
there was one I had a video too, and it got a lot of views and a lot of love, and the guy was like really mean about it, and I was like, okay, dude, I'll take it down. Don't worry.
You know, I've seen conversations like that break out on the internet, and I've also seen it done without the intention to like necessarily stir anything up. And
Yeah.
so, based on my limited understanding, because I really don't have a lot of actually published catalogs out there, but I've read the conversations, and I've seen producers get really upset because like they'd be putting out free beats,
Yeah.
and then the first person to upload it to YouTube, they'd say, yes, this is my original content.
Oh.
And because like they wrote the song, and
I
they,
always
they,
gave
you know.
credit to the producer.
And so the algorithm though would then flag it, so the second person to use that beat would say, no, this beat's already used by somebody else and copywritten, to the point where the original producer, right, the beat maker that actually made it,
Yeah.
would then try to put it on YouTube or whatever platform, and it would say, no, you can't, because this other artist already published
But
it
that's
under their
through
name.
distribution, no?
These were part of the arguments that I'd see, so I really don't know exactly what the many platforms were, But I
Yeah.
know YouTube was definitely one of them, and there was another one called CD Baby.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
so, you know,
I
I mean,
used that for a while,
because
but
they kind of like distribute it to other
yeah,
platforms and give you the digital.
that's when
right?
they flag it. Like the way I did it is I would just make the song and then I would personally upload it to YouTube and then I was okay.
And then provide links back and give
Yeah,
proper credits.
when
right?
you
Obviously.
actually distribute it, it's because you're making money off of it. So if somebody like has that, you know,
Right, right.
license, then. But another thing too with YouTube is like a lot of producers be sampling and not clearing the samples,
Oh, yeah,
and then
yeah.
they be selling the beats, you know,
Without sampling, yeah.
you know, without it
Or
cleared.
sorry, without clearing the sample.
Yeah, exclusives too. You know, people be paying a lot of money and then they get in trouble for putting
Yeah.
the song out, and it's all bad.
Yeah.
I had one experience where somebody asked me, "Hey, are you planning on distributing this?" And I'm like, "No, I'm gonna just use it for a mixtape."
Yeah.
And I didn't realize the person asking me was like kind of heavy in the game and actually knew all the ins and outs of how to clear samples.
Yeah.
And now I regret not saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna distribute it," even if I never did, right?
Yeah.
Like he would have cleared the samples for me,
Oh,
and
man.
I haven't been through that experience yet. So one of these days I'll read that chapter in you know life's book of knowledge here.
Yeah.
I
But
had somebody.
what
No,
I
I was gonna say I had somebody hit me up on Facebook a couple years back, and her name was Calm Paradox,
Oh,
and my name is Cal Paradox, and she hit me up with this long old message, and she was like threatening to sue me
Oh man.
and all kinds of stuff, and I hit her back, and I'm like, yo, I've been Cal P for like long time. Like, when did you start making
20
music?
years,
You
yo.
know?
2 decades.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
Cal Paradox for like 20 years. What the heck are you talking about? So like, anyways, we ended up.
But at
you
least
know,
you guys have somewhat of a differentiation of the name.
but it's totally. And then like, anyways, I just told her. I just said, look, I ain't gonna change anything.
Well, she got
You
a
need
shout
to
out
change
today.
your name.
Yeah.
That's all. You need to change your name. I told her, and you know, I mean, it's totally different what I'm doing opposed to what she. Because she was like on some like. She was like on some kind of weird singing, kind of like folk music kind of stuff. It was weird.
That's funny.
It was weird, but it was funny though, because she was like pissed. She
Oh,
was
man.
mad. She was like, she was super mad, and she was gonna sue me. And I was just like, look, it, lady, you need to just chill with all that suing stuff. Like, you ain't gonna get nothing anyway. Like, you know, what are you gonna,
Yeah,
what are you gonna
I
get?
feel it.
What are you gonna get from me anyway, lady? Come on, I'm Cal Paradox.
All your followers on Instagram, bro.
Yeah, so what are you gonna get from me? So.
I heard you had a lot of followers on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Anyways, yeah. So, anyways, I thought that was that's what I thought about when you said that people hitting you up on YouTube. Yeah, I've stolen people's beats off YouTube and I've sent it
Yeah.
to them,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "Oh, you can use it."
Yeah.
You know, like, all right, cool.
When the
'Cause I did it
producer's real
justice.
cool. Yeah, yeah.
Because you did it justice.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I met a longtime producer off of. I was watching tutorial videos on YouTube on how to use something on Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
And I was watching the video, and the guy who was making the video, he was playing a beat showing you how to do something, and I was like, that beat sounds dope. What is that? You know? So I hit him, I sent him a message and stuff, and then I ended up working with him for a couple of years.
There you go.
He's a
That's
dope producer. Shout out to Savant. Yeah, he's
Hey.
Oceanside. He's dope. So yeah. So I mean, YouTube's nice to. YouTube's a nice
It's nice
place
of you
to
ask
It's a good
nice
to
of you,
meet. You
platform.
can meet
Yeah.
people. You
It's
know,
a good platform.
you could, and
Yeah.
you could get harassed for stealing stuff. So it's you
All
know.
of the above, yo.
It's
Yeah.
either or, you know. It's a good, it's a bad thing, you know. It's like Craigslist, you know. It's one of those things, you know. It's the
Might
gift
be a
and
little
the curse.
safer than Craigslist.
Yeah, just meet him at Starbucks and you'll be all right. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Just
man.
meet me over there in the parking lot where there's a lot of people in a public place.
That
and,
digital
you know.
exchange, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just wondering if you're looking for beats though, because like I said, that guy I mentioned earlier, Clint.
Yeah.
You know, hit up Clint. I got some beats. I mean, there's a lot of people that make beats.
Yeah.
you know?
I'm always open.
I'm
to
always
work with
looking.
other
I'm always
people.
looking for beats too.
Well, she said she's looking for collaborations, and there's a rap contest coming up on an exclusive 1 a.m. beat.
Yeah,
right?
and whoever wins, I'm gonna be collaborating with them. So.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit more about that, because I know that there's a lot of very talented MCs out here in Salinas and
Yeah.
surrounding areas. So.
Well, cause like I personally once in a while I like to enter like a rap contest or something just for fun, you know, for the love of hip hop. And
Right.
well, I figure I make beats and I have a lot of friends that rap, so I thought it would just be fun, you know, and then giving away some free beats, you know, it's
Right,
always
right.
fun.
So what's the prize in this case? Is it
So
some free
this-
beats?
yeah,
studio
this time it's this.
you clear the samples, like sorry.
Oh
just-
well, when I sample, you won't know what sample it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I learned from the best. Kai teach me how to make
Obscure
sure
it,
you can't.
obscure
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah, the first prize is they get access to my vault, which is all the beats that I personally would rap on and like I hid from everyone.
Okay.
You know, and then they get they get for pick.
You Bogart all the
Yeah.
themselves, you know. That's
Yeah.
why you make them.
So they get
Called
first
hoarding,
pick and a collab this time. The first time I did it, I wasn't sure if anyone would even do it. So I was surprised that a lot of people did it. So
no, yeah, you got some very talented submissions as well. I was checking it out.
Yeah. So this time I wanted to step it up a little and give them, a free pick, an exclusive beat from the vault this time, and then a collab, and then second place is like a wave lease, and then third is like MP3 lease. So. Everyone still gets something. I try to
nice,
make it fun.
And this is coming up in June, so about a month away at this point.
Yeah, it's coming up real fast. And this time I wanted to try something different and collaborate with another producer. Just to like help other people
collaborate
out.
On the production or collaborate?
Yeah, on the production. So this time I have two of the contest beats are with a young kid named Concept.
Is he local as well?
Yeah, he's from Gilroy, and
where?
a lot of his beats are really awesome. He actually produced the song All of That, which is on all the streaming sites. So if you go check that out, you'll hear the and he's very versatile too, and I really respect him. So I wanted to just collab with him and
more or less. What sound is he rocking? Is he doing more of the chill hop or more upbeat or?
I think he does a mix, but
lo-fi.
I think he does more of kind of trap and maybe more modern stuff, but his hip hop beats are dope too, so
cool.
I just wanted to work with someone, it's my contest, so I'm gonna do what I want, you know what I mean? I just thought it'd be cool to just work with someone else on.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I know last time I got a chance to check it out, but it was a little late in the submission, game, so I didn't want to set myself up for failure. But I think I'm going to give it a swing this time. So I'm looking forward to it.
This time I changed the voting too, just because it's not a popularity contest. I want it to be about the bars. So I'm basically just going to get a group of people who didn't enter the contest, just a good amount of people, and we're all going to listen to the submissions. And we'll do it based off of that.
So kind of like contest judges kind of a thing?
Yeah. So it's not just, oh, this person's really popular. But
I don't know. I mean, I can go stand up a bunch of proxies and make it look like I got more votes.
Some people be voting multiple times for themselves.
Clear the cookies and then vote again. Yeah, I know all those tricks. Yeah. So. Word up. So we're coming up on the 11 o'clock hour, and we do have to do something for the station in about a minute. So why don't we let the folks know once again a little bit about you. We'll do a quick recap.
How do they find you? Let the people know how to find you.
Yeah. On Instagram, you can find me at It's 1 a.m. somewhere, or all my links will be at www.iam1am.com. I'm from Gilroy. A FMC. Been doing this for about 7 years.
MC. Yeah. I don't like that term.
You don't like FMC?
Nah. MC.
Self-identifying, bro. It's
nah, but for me, it's what dope is dope is dope.
For sure.
Exactly.
So I'm not gonna,
Okay, well, I'm MC from Gilroy.
MC, no disrespect.
He's saying you hold your own.
Yeah, I mean, you're on the same level.
It's just to help people get that I am a girl.
No, I know.
Some people will be like,
figure that out if they listen to you. I think they
sure.
can figure that out. They can be like, okay, she's not a guy.
Yeah.
She doesn't sound like a guy. So we got something for the station we're gonna do, and we will be back very shortly. Don't go nowhere.
Radio bilingüe.
Yeah, what she just said. Everybody's looking
Radio
at me like,
bilingual.
What?
Yeah,
what she just said.
Can say it in English, bro. It's
That's
all
what
right.
we rap.
KDHC.
That's what we rap.
Chula,
Say it again.
Salinas.
See,
Radio bilingüe.
Just played it again. Just
Yeah,
so you can hear that.
Sure,
That's the first time I dropped the ball. I always drop the ball, at least just to let you guys know. One time every show I do that. I forgot to hit that just to shut it up, and then it keeps playing because it's on loop. So, anyways, shout out to Radio Bilingue.
Yeah, shout out to KHCC for offering us this platform right here to be able to spotlight local talent such as 1 a.m. today. And essentially, continuing this legacy. We're not the first to do it here. There's also a wide variety of other programming, shows that happen here at KHCC. We just happen to do a hip-hop flavor. And also shout out to DJ Casio and his team for holding down the Wednesday.
Shout out, hold on. His name was Antennas. I go, what's your name? He goes, my name's Antennas. I said, where are you at? He said, yeah, he's
On vacation.
And then I said, so what do you want to shout out? He said, I want to shout out to all the graffiti taggers
That have been hitting the 101.
that have been hitting the 101. And I'm like, yo, okay.
That's a
Then
lot
he
of
goes,
shout
he
outs,
goes,
man.
He goes,
Especially
and
San
the
Jose.
break dancers.
Yes.
And I was like, well, he must have heard one name's going to be here. If she's a break,
Oh, yeah,
she's
yeah.
a break dancer. Oh, man, it was crazy. So yeah,
Yeah, so we just listened to the song
What would we play?
You Know featuring Khan by 1 a.m. And then the tribute song, or the title song actually, Off Top, also by 1 a.m. That's off of the Off Top project. And we have a copy here in studio. If anybody wants to give us a call, let us know you're listening, just show some love. And this copy is yours.
yeah. So yeah, maybe you could even leave us with one, because I got a couple CDs here too. So what I've been doing is when we do giveaways, I'll give people a choice. Which one do you want?
Yeah.
Because I have a solar CD and I have a germ CD. You get a 1 AM CD.
Yeah.
So yeah, we let the people choose. I'm gonna be like, yo, get this one. Like, yo, get this one. This one's the dope one right here.
All year round. It's a good vibe.
Yeah.
So one thing I was going to ask you earlier, didn't get around to it because it was just a good conversation, but
Yeah.
you have a lot of projects. Like, this is just one of many, right?
Yeah.
Off Top is one of the latest, but you have, what, like
I think I have
something like 10 or something like that?
I thought it was a little more than
More
that.
than that? At
Yeah.
least 10.
I lose track, to be completely honest, but I think I have 15 as of right now.
Check you out.
Technically 16, because
So you're putting out like 2 projects a year kind of a thing, it sounds
yeah,
like.
I'm always, I'm always going, and I'm always getting inspired by something. So it's just, I'm just doing what I love, and it always comes out different too, which is funny because all my projects are all different. They're all different from each other.
So before this one, it was visuals or VSLS?
LVLS.
There you go. Levels.
Yes, levels.
So I know it was something similar to that.
Yeah, and levels
Dyslexia,
is completely opposite from Off Top, which is funny, So
that's dope though.
yeah.
So if anybody
Switch
wants
it
to
up.
check out the entire catalog, is it all on the same spot?
Yeah,
or
all
you
on my
okay.
website, iam1am.com. If you scroll down to the page, click Discover More, my whole discography is there.
All 15 plus albums, right?
The secret album that I have, my first ever album, is called I'm Just Me, and that's on YouTube.
Okay.
So you
Word.
can hit me up if you want that, because that one's a little... that was off my iPod. I don't know if I want to show that one.
You don't want to share that with the whole world yet?
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, and we do got a caller call in right now, so do you want to throw on some music while we take this call? Otherwise, they're never going to get their CD.
I got some music.
You know what? They've already stopped. Oh, no. Somebody else is calling in.
Let's
Cool.
do it. I got it.
All right. Thank you to the caller. Give us a second, and we will take your call.
This is DJ Casio from the world famous Wednesday Rec Show. And when I'm not traveling to the four corners of the flat earth, I'm tuned into the Saturday Sesh right here on 90.9 FM, KHCC with Cal P and M7.
I wonder why the sun sets, but I can't sleep at all. I wonder why you hang up every time I call. I know we had our differences. I miss when you visited. My sky's turning types of gray, and I stay listening for sounds of bliss. For the ocean hits, sinking to the bottom. I can't get a grip. The darkness passes like a wave, and I wish you stayed. Cause being alone with myself, I might go insane. I was told I living for.
Paola Martinez, a senior high school student, participates in Girls Health and Girls Hands and Girls in Monterey County.
Dip instrumental.
Want to give a
yeah.
quick shout out. Actually, we had 2 callers. If you don't mind, if you want to give a quick shout out to the first one, and then I'll give a shout out to the
Yeah,
second one.
shout out to Mondo and Gilroy and Romalo and Hollister.
That's
America's
right.
Mijo.
Yeah, and
America's Meal. You
Yeah.
just can say now. What is that? I don't know.
that's his artist name,
That's
man.
his name.
I didn't get the memo. Huh?
His artist name is America's Mijo.
America's Mijo.
Yeah, shout out to America's Mijo for taking the time to
Wow.
call in. And
Wow.
and yeah, he said
Okay.
he also makes music, so
So my bad.
we're gonna check it
Shout
out.
Shout out to America's Mijo then.
Yeah, man.
I
Yeah,
guess, yeah.
coming straight out of Hollister, yo.
It's a
So
crazy name. Shout out. Is that his IG handle too as well? How can he be found? How can people find America's Mijo?
You got the info right there?
I just got his name. That's the same thing that I wrote down. Just
Okay.
his
Well,
name.
shout out to America's Mijo. That's a crazy name.
Yeah,
I don't know
I'm
how
gonna
to
look
feel
him
about
up.
it. I don't know how to
um,
feel about it, but it sounds kind of crazy and kind of cool.
I'm gonna
So,
get.
shout
Yeah,
out-
I'm
shout
barely
out-
gonna check it out myself.
Yeah, I'm
but
gonna check
apparently
it out
there is
too.
a music video called Love Conquers All,
Okay. Well,
And,
thanks for listening. Thanks for calling.
and we'll definitely be trying to plug him in if it fits the format and all of the above, man. Up next, we do have a few more selections lined up for you guys. We have about 30 minutes here left in the station. But right now we have about 5 minutes still, so I don't know if you guys want to get back into a quick conversation or if we should just jump back into the
No,
music.
let's chop it up. Let the people know how to find you again. You can never do that enough times.
Yeah, for sure. You can find me, all my info at iam1am.com. That is iam1am.com. The number 1.
Okay. I'm gonna keep it real.
So,
Uh-oh.
I don't.
dun, dun, dun.
In the past, I don't really like. I don't know what it is, but like, I don't like too many female rappers. You know, so I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Okay.
So my apology to a lot of female rappers, because usually I don't know what it is.
Is it because the
Usually-
skill's not there? Like you
I
just
know
don't
what
give
it
people
is,
a
man.
pass?
Like there's a lot of female rappers that I
Could
just,
be the attitude.
I,
A lot of
I-
people just snapping
maybe-
their necks. You know?
Maybe it's
Are you
because
thinking like
it's
the
because they
brat?
wear it too much.
The
Maybe it's
brat,
because they
yeah.
wear the whole, you know, this is what I am kind of a thing, instead of just
like
being
like Nicki Minaj?
like
or
this is who I am, instead of opposed to like
Is there
this
somebody
is what I am,
specifically
you know
that
what I
you-
mean?
Yeah, like, is there someone specific that kind of
Or like a
bugs
certain
you, that
sound?
fits that?
Well, like who I don't like, you know, like I've never really been a Brat fan.
Yeah, see that's why I mentioned the brat.
Eve, you know, I've never
Okay.
really been an Eve fan. Like, there's a lot of rappers that people are like, oh, I'm not saying she can't rap. I'm just saying, me personally, you know who I did like was Foxy Brown. I like Foxy Brown stuff. I like 1 a.m. stuff. I like the Sofa
Soulful
Queen.
Queen, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's something like Ruby Ibarra, you know, sometimes. When I say sometimes, because like sometimes I feel like she struggles with her flow.
What
Her
about
flow's not as smooth as it could be.
Oh, I see.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my kind of beef with. I still like Ruby Ibarra though, but yeah, there's just not too many. You know, I guess maybe it's just because statistically there's not as many female rappers.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why. But I just know that, you know, in the past I've always kind of been like quick to just like discard a female rapper, kind
Feel
of
it.
like.
There's a weird hierarchy
like just quick
too
to be
about
like, oh, I
that.
don't like her, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
But I mean,
I'm
you
like that with
give
guys
people
too,
a
though.
chance. Though,
It's not
right?
I'm
because
like
you're
that
a
with
guy,
guys, too, though.
right?
No, but I'm like
some
that with
people
guys
be
too,
taking
though.
props away from guys just because they like female artists. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I get
No.
that a lot too.
Yeah, no, I support people that I think are dope, you know?
Yeah.
Man or
So
woman.
good
I
music
don't
is good
care.
music,
Yeah,
right?
that's all I want to hear
There
is
you
good
go.
music.
Yeah.
That's why when I looked you up and I looked at your stuff, I was like, she's got some cool stuff.
What
here.
what song
What?
turned you on to just listen into that music?
Well,
I'm
when
just
I
curious.
was going through your SoundCloud, I remember I sent you a message. I'm like, yo, can you send me these? Like, there's like 3 or 4 songs or whatever.
Okay.
Those are the ones. Go back in the thing, and I was like, okay, I like these ones. You know, because I had seen you perform live
Mm-hmm.
At the
and-
speakeasy.
at the Speakeasy,
Mm.
and I was like, okay, she can rap. You know, she's cool. But when I checked out your stuff, that's when I was like, yo, I can play this. Like, I could bump this. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So like I got a better impression. Well, like he said, your stage presence is dope. Like you got a big stage presence. You know, you're you know, you're not short on stage. You know what I mean? You're not a little person on the stage.
For sure.
But just when I listened to the actual songs was when I was kind of like, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I get what she's trying to do. You know, there's quite a bit of songs that I was like, yeah, these are dope. That's why I hit you up. I was like, yo, can I get these songs edited? You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
Because sometimes I like to steal stuff, but sometimes I like to ask too. And there's a lot of artists that I was asking for songs and they weren't sending them to me.
Oh.
So then I just started stealing stuff. I'm just going to steal stuff. Nobody's going to be
Yeah.
mad at me like, yo, Cal, why'd you steal my song?
Why'd
and
you play
it
it
on the
show?
radio,
Yeah, why'd
man?
you play my song on the radio, Cal?
Hey,
What are you
believe it or not,
doing?
people do get like that, yo. So
Nah,
you know.
Man, let me see that happen and I'll sample them and clown them and make a joke out of it. It would be
Oh.
hilarious
man.
if somebody got mad at me for playing their music. I would laugh. I'd
Like,
be
oh,
like,
it
dude.
wasn't ready.
I'd be like, dude,
It wasn't ready for the airplay.
come on. When she gets on stage, she's like Shaq. When she gets on stage,
Oh yeah, just brings it out.
she's, she's like 7 something.
Oh my gosh.
She's like she's big when she gets on
It's
stage.
a big sound for sure. So.
Yeah, because like with
Appreciate
me, when I get on stage, I'm kind of like I stay in one spot, and I'm kind of like, you know, I'm not too big. You know what I mean? I'm kind of.
You gotta lose yourself. I lose myself.
Yeah, no,
I black out.
No, I see you got a lot of energy in your shows.
So tell us a little bit. I mean, we have 10 minutes here, so
Yeah.
might as well kind of get into a little bit of more 1 a.m. behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
Sure.
So your creative process. I mean, it seems to me like you first lay down the beat and then you write, or do you write first and then you use the beat?
Yeah, most of the time I like to just sit and vibe to beats, and then whatever, you know, whatever I feel, I go off my feelings, you know. And so sometimes it's the beat first, sometimes it's like the concept, sometimes it's actually the lyrics, but it's very rare when I write lyrics first and then.
So
try
do you
to
use
build a
like
beat
the same
around it.
lyrics to different beats just to see if it would fit? Or do you not really do that
Nah,
process?
I just kind of go off the vibe of the beat.
So
whatever.
every beat gets its own verse
Yeah,
or its
yeah.
own song for that matter.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Word.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the same thing. So you've been rapping. I mean, you got a lot of 15 albums. How
Yeah.
long has this been span? I'm just curious.
Yeah. Well, when I
2012,
first
bro.
started, I was
Since
like,
2012.
yeah, I was like
So
addicted.
So 15 albums in how many years?
7 years.
Man, I feel like
2 projects a year,
what
bro.
have I been doing
Yeah.
with my It took me like 2-3 years to make an album. You know what I mean? And you're over here just dropping them like
I
nothing.
mean, I had a lot of free time. I wasn't like the most popular kid in high school.
like
I had,
Tupac over here.
Yeah, I had my
She's
small
like
circle,
Tupac.
so I had a lot of free time to just write or
Wow.
even just like walking. I had a lot like to write. Like I had a lot to say back in high school. So, but now I kind of like I think about what I want to say because now I know that I have. You know, I'm influencing others, so
Right,
I want
right.
to just make sure like I'm continuing to give that positive message because that's what I want to do originally. Give a, you know, a good healthy message other than what's going on the radio. You know what I mean?
Right.
OG
Awesome, man.
Chucks.
Yeah, that's how I used to go.
And
by.
I heard you
OG
what you
Chucks.
said it stands for, and I was like, wow, she really put a lot of thought into that one.
Yeah.
'Cause it stands for like. what does it stand?
Only God can help us here keep sane.
I was
And
like,
then
man,
1
she-
a.m. is one Almighty, or I am.
Once again, she's making me feel like what am I doing?
Well, your name's a
My name
Nawa.
don't mean nothing.
Nah, bro, it's a
My
Nawa. It
name
has a
don't,
deep
but my
meaning.
name don't mean nothing though.
Well, maybe when you
Like, my
chose
name
it.
is just like, yo, that sounds cool. I'll throw this with that. There you go. Her name means something. You know what I mean?
It's depth, man.
I'm dropping the ball. I need to drop albums every 4 months right now to catch up over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start rapping in Nawa too.
Just putting work.
Yeah, I'm
Your
gonna-
name's in Nawa, bro. You technically done that since day one.
I know my name's in Nawa. That's what he was telling me that it's in Nawa. I go, I guess, man,
Yeah.
whatever.
Cali
man.
means house, and Acat Pulco, it's the place where the reeds gather.
But what does 1 a.m. mean in Nawa?
Technically, we use a different clock. It's not 12 hours, it's a 20-hour clock, so
Ooh.
it'd be a different.
So she better know her
1
Nawa
a.m..
name. What's her Nawa name?
Well, I'd have to get her birthday, and I don't want to give that out on air. That's
What's her
PII.
What's
Personally
the Nawa
identifiable
name?
info is not
Can I
something
write
we
it down
share.
and just pass
No,
it
definitely.
to you?
Yeah, we'll definitely talk. So what Cal's giving me a hard time about is, I'm very passionate about indigenous culture. The oral history
Yeah.
of, Mexica culture is pretty much what I've been able to tap into. And so keeping track of time through the Aztec calendar. Actually, my name, M7, is my birth date on the Aztec calendar.
Oh wow.
Chicome Masat. Chicome is 7, and Masat is the day I was born on, so 7 Masat. And so I take the M from Masat, and I use the 7. So
Wow.
They had at the orientation for my son, they had Aztec dancers over there.
Oh, word.
They were
Hey.
doing their thing. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. And they were burning that smoke stuff, and my son's all, what is
Sage.
that?
He's sage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's all, what
Purify
is
the
that? And I'm
air.
all, that smells good. Whatever it is. I don't know what it was. I don't know if they burned sage or not. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, sage and
He
Purifies the
was
copal.
like,
air.
what is that though? They were burning that stuff. I was like, okay.
Mhm.
I like sage.
Yeah, it's sage and tree
is
sap
nice.
or copal.
Yeah.
So it's generally sweet, and it kind of clears the air from bad vibes.
Mhm.
Believe it or not, way back when we'd be doing the events at the library or just different outdoor events, because I can't really do it indoors,
Yeah.
but I mean, you'd be able to see me back there burning a
But
little
that's
bit of
even
sage.
with those,
and,
That's even like with those the brujeria people. That's what they be using too, right?
I don't know what they
Sage and
use,
stuff
man.
Like that, right?
Depends who
They be
you
burning
ask,
that
yeah.
stuff.
I think it's
Candles
different.
and
Yeah.
stuff.
I
I'm
mean,
just saying, right? Is that what they be doing?
I don't
Right?
subscribe to that frame of thought, so I don't know exactly what they do. But I know that I mean, yeah, sage is meant to disperse energy. There's also
Yeah.
Doing that
there's
stuff.
there's like, what is it, sweetgrass. There's a lot of different herbs that can be used to kind of clear
Palo
out.
You know which
There you
one
go, Palo Santos.
The
Yeah,
one
yeah,
that I hate is the one that they burn in church. That frankincense. I hate that stuff.
Well, they
That
also
stuff
use copal,
stinks. I
man.
hate that. Is that
They
what-
also use copal, yeah.
Yeah, whatever they're using, they need to stop.
Nah, but
I don't even wanna
copal
go.
is tree sap. It's
It makes
actually
me
really
not
sweet.
even want
yeah.
to go to church. Yo. I'm just like, I don't even want to go.
All right, I'm gonna bring it back to 1 a.m.
It's
with
like-
another question. How did you gain your stage presence? I mean, that's something. I don't know if you want to give away your
She's
secrets,
born with
but
it,
I mean,
yo.
yeah, exactly.
I
Maybe.
think-
Born.
Honestly, I think it is because like I'm.
Like, did you practice that, or is that just something you?
Oh
did?
yeah, I practice all the
Oh, okay,
time.
okay.
I'm always like my biggest fear is I'm a freaking forget the lyrics. Like
Okay.
because I've done it before and I was like so mad at myself.
Just freestyle.
So.
That's my secret. Just like,
yeah,
yeah.
no, they that one time I choked because everyone was like go freestyle and I was like like but
Was this early on, or was it?
yeah,
just
this was
okay.
early on when I was first performing, but
Well, you fought through it like Eminem, so.
yeah, honestly, like the way I do it is like I pray every time before I go on stage, and because it just helps me calm down. And I basically am just saying like use me as your instrument, you know what I mean? And that's what he does. He uses me as my as his instrument, and I just let it flow through me. Whatever happens, happens.
Word. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And the reason I ask again is because I know that a lot of artists struggle with that. Like,
Yeah.
how do I find myself? How do I gain that confidence? Earlier you said something, I don't know if we were on air or off air, but you're like, yeah, I just black out whenever I start a show.
I think we're off air maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I really like I try to lose myself because I want the music to be heard. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
because
right.
sometimes I'm pretty awkward most of the time. I'm kind of a wallflower, so I get nervous and stuff. So I try to just think about the music and what I was feeling, and just try to like project that, because it's all about the song, for me at least. I just want
Right,
people
right.
to get my message across and vibe.
Dope. Well, I think that's dope. Again,
Yeah.
kind of putting your trust, I guess, into higher, purpose.
Yeah.
Obviously, it shows that your music is beyond just, being something superficial or trendy or anything like that. It has depth to it, has realness to it. This off-top project right here, you start off with your grandma's voice to start off the
Yeah.
project. Like, it's a very personal thing to you, and it kind of shows,
Yeah.
in a good way, obviously. So with all that in mind, I want to say thank you. We're down to like the last 3 minutes or so. And again, every time that I've had the pleasure of either sharing the stage with you or just having a conversation for planning an event, or in today's case, being here and actually sitting down and getting to know you a little bit better, it's always a pleasure. So thank you again for the good vibes, for the good work. Once again, our artist today is 1AM, coming out of Gilroy, California, female
Yes.
MC. I know Cal P doesn't want to focus on the female aspect of it, but it's important to recognize that girls can do this too. Me, myself, I'm raising 3 baby girls, so it's important for them to see these positive role models and these, very talented artists in the community. So thank you once again.
Definitely. Thank
again,
you for having me.
Yeah, let folks know once again how they can find you, so you
Yes.
can get a few more folks out there, tuning in.
Yes, my website is iam1am.com. Again, iam1am.com. You can check out all my music on there, all my social links, all the upcoming events, and the upcoming rap contest. So, yeah, tune in and check it out.
Word. We're down to like 20 seconds, so we're going to say, once again, this is the Saturday Sesh, and have a good night. We'll see you next week. Peace.